Hey there, and welcome back to the Ingrained Workshop. I'm Rick, and in today's video we're going to be replacing the deadbolt lock on the rear door of our house. We're going to be installing a new deadbolt that has a biometric fingerprint lock. It also has a numbered combination lock, and then also the traditional key lock. So let's get started. So this is the lock that we're going to be installing. It's a Teeho lock off of Amazon.com, and I'll leave a link in the video description below to where you can get this same identical lock. Like I had mentioned earlier, it has the biometric fingerprint lock, it has the numbered combination lock, and then it has the traditional keyed lock. So when you open the box, it comes with a set of installation instructions, and then it also comes with a template. So if you're going to be mounting this on a new door slab that doesn't have any holes drilled in it, it has this template so you can affix it to the new door, and then you've got your hole saw size, which is 2 1/8 inch thick, that you'll drill through the door for the deadbolt or for the lock, and then you'll have a 1 inch diameter spade bit that you'll have to drill on the end of the door for the actual deadbolt set. We're not going to have to be doing that since we're just replacing an existing lock in a door. The door should already be prepped and ready to go. Inside the box here we have a set of keys. We have the actual deadbolt hardware. And then this is the actual deadbolt that will go on the end of the door. This is the exterior of the lock, and as you can see, it's got the traditional keyed lock. It has the numbered combination lock, and then I don't know if you can see that, but it has your fingerprint lock for your biometrics. And then this is the interior of the lock, which is where you'll store your battery pack. And then you've got your motherboard or your control board here that will plug into the exterior lock. So here we are at the rear door of the house, and this is the traditional keyed deadbolt that we're going to be replacing. So the first thing we're going to have to do is take and remove the 2 screws here that are in the faceplate of the deadbolt itself. Once we get those removed, then we'll need to take out the 2 Phillips head screws on the interior faceplate of the locking mechanism. Once we get these 2 screws out, we'll be able to remove the interior locking mechanism along with the exterior locking mechanism and pull the complete locking mechanism out, and then we'll be able to slide out the deadbolt here on the side of the door. So now with the interior lock off, we can take and remove the exterior lock. So now the only thing left we have to remove is the actual deadbolt itself, which should just slide out of the end. And there you have it. The complete deadbolt is removed. So the next thing we're going to do is install the actual deadbolt, and you'll see here in the very corner there's an up arrow which shows you which side is up on the deadbolt. So this is the correct way to install it in the door. You don't want to install it with the slot at the top. You want to install it with the slot at the bottom, and there should be the word up with the arrow here on the corner. So let's slide this into the door. And as you can see, it fits inside the deadbolt opening. It's the slot is centered with the lock hole. So the next thing we want to do is just put the 2 screws in the actual strike plate of the actual face plate of the deadbolt. That would be these two screws here, and we'll get those installed next. So now the deadbolt is installed within the door. The next thing we want to do is install the exterior face of the lock. Now you do have a wiring harness right here that has to be connected to the interior locking mechanism. So what you want to do is install the wiring mechanism below the deadbolt, and then this slotted piece of metal is going to go through the center hole of the deadbolt. It's important to note too, before you do this, you have to make sure that the deadbolt is in the unlocked position. And then you can insert the exterior face piece through the slot that's in the deadbolt. Now this is going to be fastened from the inside. So for right now, it's just going to hang loose until we go on the inside of the door and install the interior face of the lock. Okay, so this is the view from the inside. You can see that the wiring harness is under the deadbolt, and then the metal slot from the exterior lock face is installed through the actual slot that's in the deadbolt. So this part of the installation is complete. The next thing we're going to do is start installing the interior lock. Okay, the next piece we're going to be installing is going to be the mounting bracket for the interior lock face. So this hole here is where the slot from the exterior lock is going to go through, and this slot here is where the wiring harness is going to go through. So let's go ahead and get this set on the interior of the door. And it clearly says on the back side of this plate, it shows you a top arrow, and it also indicates that this side is against the door. So we're going to turn it around, put that side against the door, feed our wiring harness through the bottom, and this is how it's supposed to be mounted, with the wiring harness through that slot, and then the front slot of the exterior lock through that hole. And then there's 2 screws that we're going to use to screw this mounting bracket to the exterior lock of the door. So there's the exterior lock now mounted to the door. I made sure that it was flush with the trim piece before I tightened it all down. This is tightened down and ready to go. Please note that they do give you 2 different lengths of bolts depending on the thickness of your door. So you'll have to determine, based on the thickness of your door, which sets of bolts to use. Next, we're going to take the wiring harness and take the interior lock. A couple of things. You want to make sure that the interior lock is in the vertical lock position, and that will put the slot in the horizontal position, which will match the horizontal position of the slot on the exterior of the lock. That way these 2 will mate up. And then you've got on the wiring harness on the control board, you'll see that there's a red mark here, and there's a red mark on the wiring harness. You'll just want to line those two red marks up together when you install the wiring harness. And you'll see that the lines are lined up. I've got the lock, interior lock, in the vertical position, and then I should be able just to slide it over the interior plate. Now there will be a mounting screw that I'll need to mount here at the bottom, so we'll do that next. There are actually 3 mounting screws, the one at the bottom, which I had mentioned earlier, and then there are 2 here at the battery compartment that you'll need to install as well. So once you put the 3 screws in, you've got 2 here inside the battery compartment. You've got 1 here at the very bottom of the interior lock. Now the interior lock is securely fastened to the door, and then you can turn the lock here and see that it does operate the deadbolt. So the next thing we're going to do is put the batteries in and get this bad boy programmed so we can start using it. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take and install 3 AA batteries. Now an important note here, it takes 4 AA batteries, but you only want to install 3 at this time. Then we're going to take the reset tool, which is this here, and this is what comes with the package. You'll take and use this reset tool to reset it, and then after it's reset you'll hear a long beep. Once you hear that beep, then you can put in the 4th battery. So let's go ahead and put in our first 3 batteries, and we'll start installing the batteries from the left side to the right. So the very far right battery is the one that we're going to leave out for right now. Okay, so once we get the 3 batteries installed, we want to take the reset tool, and here at the center of the interior lock is the reset button. We want to depress the reset button, and we want to hold it while we put in the last battery. Now you heard the door open or go in the lock position, and then you heard the long beep. That now means that the lock is set and ready to go. The reason why you have to do that is because this lock is designed for a left hand or a right hand deadbolt. So by doing that, it was able to recognize that this is a right hand deadbolt instead of a left hand deadbolt. So we're going to go ahead and unlock it and put the battery cover on it, and now it's set and ready to go. So on the inside of the door, to lock it, you just simply turn the deadbolt to the left and it locks, and turn it to the right to unlock it. So now we can go ahead and start the programming sequence for both the numbered combination lock and the biometric lock or the fingerprint lock. So, but before we do that, let's go ahead and test the key to make sure that the key lock works. So the door is unlocked. We're going to shut it, insert the key, lock it, and the deadbolt portion, or the traditional key lock portion, works. The deadbolt works. We're good to go. Now the next locking mechanism we'll test out will be the numbered combination lock. Okay, so once you get the lock installed, the first thing you're going to have to do is reset the master code. I think they all come standard with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 master code, but you can't do any programming to the lock until you change that master code. And to change the master code, you just hit the Teeho button twice, and then you type in the master code, hit the Teeho button once, and then you can enter your new master code hit the Teeho button once and it will flash green. Then you confirm your new code, hit the Teeho button again, and then that will reset the factory code to your personal code. Once you've got the master code reset to your personal code, then you can go in and start programming all the functions with this lock. Now this lock comes with a lot of functions. It has an auto lock function, so it can lock 30 seconds after the door is unlocked. And you can change that, I think, from 30 seconds up to maybe 99 seconds. And it has a silent mode. It has a lot of different features. I'm not going to go into all the features in detail, but I did just want to show you how the 3 locking mechanisms work. And of course, you have your traditional key method in which we'll lock it, and then you see the red Teeho button lit up in red and flashed, indicating that the door is locked. Now you can unlock it with the key like you would traditionally do, and then the Teeho button flashes a green light indicating that the door is unlocked and you can open it and go in. Now, to operate it without the key at all, once you shut the door, if you want to lock it, you just press any button and hold it for 2 seconds, and it will automatically lock the door, and the red Teeho button will light up red. And then to unlock it, you've got 2 methods. You can put in a numeric combination, or you can use the fingerprint method. So I'll do the numeric combination first. You just put in your code, and then you press the Teeho button, and that unlocks the door, and then you can go in. Let's lock it back by holding any number 2 seconds. That locks the door. The door is now locked. I can now use my thumbprint, and my thumbprint unlocks the door. So I think it's a very nice feature to have the biometric feature, to just use your thumbprint, or a numbered combination, or the last method, which I would use to be the traditional key method. So again, I'm not going to go into all the features. Like I said, it's got a silent mode, it's got a vacation mode, it's got a one-time code mode, so you can put in a one-time code if you need to give it to a neighbor just in case of an emergency while you're on vacation. They need to get into the house, they can use that one-time code, and that's it. That's pretty much going to wind up the installation and the operating of the Teeho biometric numeric combination and keyed deadbolt lock set. So just remember, when you do install the Teeho lock, that you do reset the master code before you do anything, because it will not allow you to program the smart lock functions until you do that. But once you do reset the master code, then you can take and go through and set up all the different functions that the Teeho deadbolt offers. There are numerous functions, some that I didn't bother programming. There's a silent mode, there's an auto mode, auto lock mode, so the door will automatically lock after 30 seconds of being unlocked, and I believe you can increase that time up to 99 seconds. There's a one-time user code, which deletes after one time, and then there's also a vacation mode. So there are different modes. It's very versatile. I really do like having the biometric feature and the numbered combination feature, because I'm constantly getting locked out of the house. I'm outside in the yard working, or I'm out here in the workshop. I don't have my keys with me. The kids or Z will lock the door thinking I'm inside, when all reality I'm outside and I get locked out. So it's a very useful lock to get. The lock only costs $75 on Amazon, and I'll leave a link in the video description below. And I would advise using the affiliate links, because a small portion of your purchase does go to the channel, and that helps support the channel. So I greatly appreciate it. I hope this video helps you out in your project. If it did, please leave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Until next time, have a great day. This is Rick with the Ingrain Workshop. We'll see you next time. Thanks.